3 down, 20 to go. The Formula 1 season is kicking off with its first back-to-back race. It's goodbye Portugal, hello Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. The fourth stop on the calendar, 2 wins to Hamilton, 1 win to Verstappen. Can he make it a double victory here in 2021? This is, of course, his 100th Grand Prix start for Red Bull, and where it all started for him, winning Grand Prix races back in 2016. 2 weeks' time, it's time for the glitz and glamour, the Monaco Grand Prix on the 23rd of May, followed then by Azerbaijan, Turkey now at round 7. At the end of June, we see the French Grand Prix before July sees Austria, the British Grand Prix, and then the tail end and early of August sees the Hungarian Grand Prix go into the summer break before Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form a triple header. Russia, Singapore as well, followed then by Japan, and then stateside for the American Grand Prix, Mexico and Brazil. Then it's over to Australia on the 21st of November, Saudi Arabia on the 5th of December, and then on the 12th of December, it's all done. The last race of the year in Abu Dhabi. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way by just 8 points. 69 to him. Verstappen is on 61. Lando Norris holding off third on 37, Valtteri Bottas 32, Charles Leclerc 28, Sergio Perez is on 22. Then we get Daniel Ricciardo on 16, Carlos Sainz 14, Esteban Ocon on 8, and Pierre Gasly on 7. On the second page, we see Lance Stroll on 5 points, the same now as Fernando Alonso. Yuki Tsunoda has 13th place with 2. No points on the board for Kimi Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Sebastian Vettel, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, Nikita Mazepin or Nicholas Latifi. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes dominating the way, 101 points to them. Red Bull have only 83 points. McLaren on 53. They're ahead of Ferrari on 42. Then we get Alpine on 13. AlphaTauri have 9. Aston Martin 5. No points for Alfa Romeo, Williams or Haas. Afternoon is here. It's time for Free Practice 2. Another hour awaits the drivers for the 2021 Spanish Grand Prix. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya in Spain, 3 sectors long, 2.892 kilometers, 16 turns and 2 DRS zones. Elevation change is minimal and it's a demanding circuit. Attack the last corner like you absolutely mean it. Open up the DRS at the exit and start the lap. Try and keep the car stable down as you approach at 8th gear, 325 kilometers an hour. Hit the brakes down to 5th gear, 200 kilometers an hour into turn 1 and 2, the Elf corners. Rise up throughout turn 3, which is the Renault corner. 7th gear, 285 kilometers an hour maximum speed before you hit the brakes down 5th gear, 180 kilometers an hour to turn 4 at Repsol. Use the half banking as you approach downhill to the Seat corner at turn 5. Down 6th gear at the exit as well. Move up faster, faster, faster. Pull through the gears. You're attacking 8 and 7 and 8 and 5th gear, 230 as well as you rise up the hill towards turn 9 at Campos. Flat out throughout it. Now you approach the second DRS zone. 8th gear, 315 kilometers an hour maximum speed before you approach the new section. Back onto the old turn 10 layout. It's a long loop sweeping back up towards turn 11 and 12. Fantastic overtaking spot now opened up on the track. Now control the wheel spin at the exit. You're still coming into the nasty New Holland chicane. 13 now into 14 and 15. 3rd gear down to 2nd, 105 kilometers an hour. That's about 80 miles an hour. Accelerate round the last corner as well at New Holland and you're across of the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here in Spain. And hopefully you can still see us and hear us as we welcome you back to the Circuit de Barcelona for the second practice session for the 2021 Spanish Grand Prix. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya has been on the calendar since 1991. This year celebrates its 30th anniversary with the 31st race, and hopefully we are back on as well after a very unusual little cut there as our computer crashed on us, but we're all good and we're all racing again. 16 turns around this circuit, 29.6 metre elevation change, similar to what we saw last week at the Portimao circuit. Turn 1 and 2, Hamilton versus Vettel was a factor back in 2017. Vettel getting the win and lead that day. Down at turn 4 as well, looking on, we can see Sainz versus Albon in last year's race as well. That was a little bit one of a bumping and boarding session. Down at turn 8 and 9 as well, Vettel going on the inside of Rosberg. Rosberg holding it, but not being that much to keep on the outside. And keep it through as well. We can also see the tyre compounds, the C1, the C2, and the C3. But yeah, we just got to the post. Yeah. The white is the hard, the yellow the medium, and the red is the soft. But you know that, and we know that. And as we are 3 minutes away from the start of the session, the wind has picked up and everything is getting ready as well. And Sky Sports F1 have got a new commentary box. It looks more like a wrap now that we see it in full throw. But their commentary box, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screens. We've got 6. Well, technically 7. But I think we're pretty much matched on information that we've got as well, Ian Birch. Welcome into the box.
Yeah, all they've done is they've put a throw up at the back and then reorganised the desk. Now, you've been in the commentary boxes at Barcelona.
I have.
Right? That is supposed to be a window.
Yeah, they've taped over the window. You're allowed back in the commentary boxes this weekend as well because we're back in the traditional built Europeans, but they've taped over that window and it looks like one of the double commentary boxes they've got as well.
Crofty, yeah, because Crofty ran the track, so he is actually there.
Yes, he is, yeah. They are there. They're all there. We've all seen them. But, yeah, they've taped over the window. Quite nice. Or maybe the window's at the back and they've put that towards the front.
Yeah, they've changed the room round.
One thing I like, though, is that we've got a bigger monitor.
They've got the picnic tables like we have.
Yeah, these little things in front of us.
They've got 2 black picnic tables. We have 1 white picnic table.
And sort of a
wooden one.
We've got a bigger table over there that'll be used tomorrow.
And we've got a radio mic over there.
Yes. Where is it? There it is.
For radio.
Yeah, the radio mic. We do all our voiceovers and lap attacks. And
I'm listening.
Don't think it's actually on at the moment. No, it's not. I would have put it on and done that as well. But yeah,
me and Megan are thinking of doing a podcast.
Well, I thought as well putting that mic in there tomorrow for the commentary, but there's no point. You'll be having that headset and that headset over there as we get ready. We're 1 minute and 13 seconds away from the green light, which is what that monitor means.
Cynthia likes the theme tune for Formula 1.
So do I. It was in our ears during the build-up.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, who is it? It's
that's the reason our computers crashed. Because that McPhee thing that's been plaguing us for the past couple of weeks is still coming on. It's those pop-up ads, and it blocks everything. So apologies if we're a little bit slow in the first 5 minutes.
Have we got rid of it?
It won't go. It'll go. It won't
Explanation
go,
from practice 1. Seb Vettel ran over the curb at turn 4, I think it was.
Yes, yeah.
They're having trouble at 4, quite a few of them. We all expected the trouble at 10, but they're having trouble at 4 as well, which is when they come back on themselves after the loop at the top and the big lovely long corner at
turn
3.
3. Yeah. Turn 4, of course, the Repsol corner.
They've extended the sleeping policeman on the floor, and that means they're all taking it how they usually take it and then hitting that sleeping policeman. That's what Seb did, and what you saw flying off, Ant has identified it as the bomb-like shaped sensor that looks at the right front tyre.
Ah, that's what flew off the car this morning.
Flew off the car.
Green light is on. Cars heading out to the pit lane. Schumacher looks to be doing a practice start. I can't see who else. I think it's Ocon just behind him in the Alpine. Raikkonen, Vettel heading out there. Bottas going out too. So now we get to see the real race strategies. It's a lot windier out there.
Giovinazzi.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, Giovinazzi heading out there. It's a lot windier out there.
Here's Mick
0.2 miles per hour
Schumacher
wind
coming
speed.
out now.
Just looking at its air temperature now at 20 degrees, track temperature was at 40. As the cars trip over themselves coming out of the pit lane. It's going to be a lot more interesting this session. A lot more race runs as well, especially with a 50% chance of rain at the start of the race on Sunday.
Why is that turn 4 and not turn 1 if they're coming out the pits?
Which one? Where? Oh, the graphic doesn't update to the end of the first sector for some reason. So all the cars heading out now, we can't see
I'm on
them.
a track guide.
Track guide there, track guide here.
Yeah, I can't see them.
Hang on, I'll give you a track guide here up in the box. Look, we've got this nice little book. There you go. There's a track guide. And there's the pit lane down there. Hamilton leaves the pit lane as well. 58 minutes to go.
So how come the transponders are only working at the start of turn 4?
I don't know, yeah. They might have something to do
Look,
with the track
there's
there,
another
yeah.
one. And Hamilton just come out
Leclerc.
mysteriously. I thought to myself, the pits aren't there.
Yeah, the transponders look a bit ridiculous at the
The
moment.
transponder receiver is not working in turns 3 and 4.
Synthals, we already said about vibing to
Actually,
the F1 thing.
Raikkonen.
Yeah.
We've got Raikkonen. See how far he goes.
Yeah, he's out on the track, so Raikkonen's there. Unless there's a black spot like we have in
It's a black
Bahrain.
spot. It must be because
Yeah.
Norris has just appeared.
Giovinazzi is going through as well. Going through this, it looks like it's snowing in Barcelona. Synthal joking about this morning about the snow in Spain. Then he goes rain. Yes, rain predicted for Sunday's main race.
It's gone from being nice and sunny over there to a bit like stratus cloud and overcast. But it's still quite warm there. But it isn't bright sunshine there.
Air temperature 21 degrees, track temperature at 40. And let me tell you, when that wind picks up in Barcelona, because you're on the side of a mountain in a way at this track, especially Sector 3, you really feel cold.
Whereas when I walked to this box,
It's
right,
warm and cold, yeah.
the sun
Oh.
was out.
Wasn't for me when I walked to the box. It was very cold when I
That
walked
was
in.
quite nice. I nearly never came in.
If we could do the commentary outside on the bench, we would do. Rain would make a probably boring race more interesting, of course. Good point. Got a yellow briefly, but it's gone out green.
It is hard to overtake at this track, but as certain talented drivers have proved at tracks like this, it's not impossible.
And Beth has said, according to my algorithm, Danny Rick's chances of winning this race is minus 47%. He might as well just sleep in late tomorrow.
Algorithm.
Thank you. Omelette brunch, few cans, hit the shops or something. Yeah. Well, even I'm not going to be here for qualifying 3.
We thought you were a wine drinker. Unless it's cans of wine.
Yeah.
But no, it's cans. She obviously likes the amber nectar.
Schumacher was going a little bit too wide coming out of turn 1 and 2. Bottas going to cross the line to a 1:19.087.
Do you reckon this is another one of Beth's reverse psychology things?
I
Saying
hope
she's
it is,
not
yeah.
bothered about tomorrow, but she is.
I hope it
Just
is,
to
yeah.
help Danny Rick out.
It could be, hopefully, because we know that it's not had the greatest look, Daniel Ricciardo here, as I said.
Sonoda's been learning English, correct English, instead of the stuff that he uses.
Oh, good. Swearing a bit more important then.
Yuki even surprised Max
Oh, yeah.
at the things that he comes out with.
Yuki is really
He's got the
foul mouth.
dirtiest
Yeah,
foul mouth,
yeah.
and he does it with such a smile and I'm not caring.
I've got a feeling that the interview on Channel 4 are doing with Steve Jones this weekend is going to be very interesting indeed.
Oh, Jonesy will get something out of him funny.
Bottas running over the curbs at the exit at turn 15. Leclerc goes P2, 1:19.772.
Anybody seen Steve Jones' movie?
What?
Has anybody seen Steve Jones when he was an
No, I
actor
haven't
in
seen
the
it.
movies?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
He played this gay character, and he did it really
I've missed
well.
that. Yeah, I've completely missed that. Maybe send a text message to David Coulthard. For
I
that matter.
personally feel that if you've got gay actors, a gay character, it should be a gay actor playing them.
Yeah, it's
because it's
more diverse.
You know,
yeah,
it's diversity,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, completely agree.
Because Jones is not gay, definitely. He's
Married to, name escapes me at the moment.
I know, it's a funny name, isn't it? Name escapes me, but
I can't remember.
and that's what he says. I'm home, dear. Hello, name escapes me.
I want to say Francesca, but
Francesca.
I'm gonna pull that back. In case
He
I'm wrong.
also had a very good career in the United States,
Yes, he
presenting
did, yeah.
a quiz show out there. So that's where we made some nice money.
Hamilton's fastest sector 1. Okay, sector 2. And he's just coming through turn 3. I watched Hamilton back in pre-season testing all those years ago. It was now. I need to get back out to a racetrack. But he was locking up at that turn 18 so much as well, just flying straight on around the old track. So it's very hard, that chicane, even for a 7-time champion.
Sometimes in the practice sessions, you see Lewis doing stuff that he's just experimenting.
Yeah.
And it's just seeing if you can get away with something. And it's best to get these things over with before you get out there in the qualifying. And so Lewis he's always got something running through his mind that's different. You know, that's what makes him a genius. That's what made Senna a genius, you know.
Synthil saying, come on, Max. And that's presumably because he's looking at the first sector times. It's the 22.3.
Well, I think this track and the weather conditions that we've got for the first 2 days, maybe not the Sunday, that will. I still think it will suit the Red Bull.
Oh, he goes top as well. Verstappen at 1:19.041.
The Mercedes has tended in practice 1 were tending to get a bit loose in the final sector.
And we've been seeing that with Bottas as well, riding over the exit curb. Yuki Tsunoda having that problem
There's
as well.
wind.
And I am already very jealous of Rachel Brooks because I have stood on that balcony where she is at the moment, and I know exactly how A, windy it can be, and B, how hot it can be at the same time. Because you've got the big grandstand covering half the track, but the sun is so directly above you. It is beating down, and it's a warm concrete as well there. It's more tar as well. So your feet burn, your skin's burn, but then you got a cold breeze coming to you at the same time. You don't know whether to dress for snow or go out with a deck chair. It's very complicated, but it's a fantastic place to watch the start line and all the pit lanes action below as well. There's also a net there in case you drop your phone.
Her T-shirt suggests that she's been shopping in the Old Town.
There's a lovely Old Town here. I'll tell you what, this is one of my favourite races of the year, Barcelona, because A, I've been there, and B, I've stood exactly where Martin Brundle's standing now.
Martin completely got his white shirt on.
Yeah, I've stood exactly down
Usual white shirt. They're all well made, though.
Oh, yeah, completely, yeah.
Yeah.
I've stood exactly down when Martin is down at turn 10 at pre-season testing, and the amount of sensation you get, the cars come up to you, and because it's such a heavy braking zone, or was a heavy braking zone back then, they've changed turn 10 now, you can almost feel the brake heat duct coming towards you with the air. It blows and you feel the warmth of the cars going through.
See, Martin lives in Kings Lynn, and that's next to Sandringham, and he has quite a few royal connections. He's on the committee for the flower show.
Parked next to his Jag and never.
And as we've told you before, the Queen has a flower show every year in July, and it's the most amazing thing because who says no to the Queen?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I've often
you have
wondered,
everything from big monster trucks to the Red Devils, and and we saw one of the those cars, that big engine,
World Speed
cars there,
Land Speed record
Land
cars,
Speed record car there, and and there's the police are walking around with I saw quite a few police officers last time we went to the flower show.
Yeah.
With actual shrubs in plastic things. Officers are not usually allowed to carry anything around, but it's so relaxed there.
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though,
you and Megan, when you were little, I've said this before as well, Sarah Chatto, who is Princess Margaret's daughter, you sat with her kids watching Punch and Judy.
Yeah.
Just, royal kids and you lot, just side by side, laughing away.
Distant cousins.
That's the way to do it.
Distant cousins.
Yeah, distant cousins.
Yeah, we found that out before the season started. But yeah, anyway, just to go back to Barcelona as well. Martin's just a couple of turns down.
Yeah, my wife and my daughter in Nottingham are not my wife in Nottingham, but are into these family trees, and we have a link to the Queen Mother.
We do, yeah.
Which makes us a cousin of the Queen, distant cousin of the Queen.
We're gonna have an interruption in the box in seconds.
It's not, we're not
pass
close cousins to the Queen.
Might want to pass that to the person who needs the key.
Anything but. Every time we go to Sandringham, they tend to put the shutters up.
Yes. Well, we've been inside Sandringham's house. Just going back to it as well.
Quick, they're here with those kids. Get the door shut.
Martin's down the track. Careful, actually. Don't want to scratch off the lid here.
I tell you what, it's the most easygoing whereas
Oh, we got debris on the track. So
Henry
extra-
Vessel's
yeah.
house up at near where they film Emmerdale,
Yeah.
they're stuck up there. They sell you an ice cream outside the kitchen tour, the Victorian kitchen tour,
Yeah.
then won't let you in with an ice cream. What's the point?
That's a good point. I remember that. Beth says we all have a bit of is that rude language or rebelled language? Can't say. Oh, virtual safety car. Okay, virtual safety car has been deployed out on the track right now to pick up the debris that's been left over by one of the cars down the back straightaway. So that's brought out the VSC. Let's have a look. Yeah, we all have a bit of bad language every now and then. Makes Sonoda a talking point. You guys should embrace it too. It wasn't the Jameson School of Commentary approach.
No, James was sexual, not
Yeah.
not bloody hell was about the
Yeah.
most you got from
He
James.
did swear once at Monaco. But no, you've sworn on air. Grosjean's accident.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that was a big doo-doo. Oh, Marshall in the middle of the track, gone the one straight away.
there's no wrong with the odd word,
No,
right? But
nothing
you've
at
got
all,
you've
no.
got a lot of children watching this this Formula One, and you want to encourage them. And when you're playing radio commentary, and you don't bleep it, which
We do, yeah,
we
yeah.
do, and so does our local provider Sky. But we know that in a lot of the world, it's not. It's what you shouldn't be encouraging children to do that.
Yeah.
But there's no harm.
odd
Once you're an
one,
adult,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know an adult who doesn't swear.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Pope.
Maybe the Pope, yeah. That bit of debris came off the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz's car running over the exit curve
And
at turn 9 at Campos.
You know why he waves his arms like that?
Why?
The Pope.
Swimming?
No, what is actually, if the microphone was on all the time, he'd go, "Get up the bloody grass."
Let's go through. Seymour Copan.
He'd like that joke because he's a good Pope. He's they're
Yeah.
all good popes. but,
Seymour Copan waving.
you know,
One of
I
our-
mean, my favourite was John Paul II. He
Seymour-
was great, brilliant.
Seymour Copan waving in the chat as well, one of our esport drivers on BBB Racing in the Deutschland series. Synthel says, but unfortunately it's usually a boring race. Well, we've had some great races here at Barcelona. Anything can happen. Synthel's most looking forward to Baku. He
Yeah,
says
but
he loves that
in
track.
Australia and in the Dutch commentator does swear sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
that's- I think
And in
what Synthel said,
Australia,
yeah.
and it's more acceptable. It's like in this country, on the beaches, you don't see topless ladies.
Yeah,
But in France,
You
it's
do,
the norm.
Yeah.
And it's just the way, nobody looks
yeah.
in France. If it happened in Britain,
Yeah.
they would look. But, it's just different cultures, like different things. And
It works, doesn't it?
the
Yeah.
thing is, this goes all over the world, and there are a lot of very religious countries that don't like it.
Yeah, you have to walk the line, don't
but
you? Yeah.
it's the thing we're trying to make Yuki just. He spent so much time learning his English with his mechanics and engineers and things like
He's learned the
that,
wrong one.
who swear like troopers,
Yeah.
right? We're not saying there's no swearing in the paddock because it's the
Oh, I've walked up and down in here. Yeah.
it is constant.
Honestly, you
You
might...
try hitting your hand with a hammer, trying to get a nut off a bolt,
Walking...
without going up.
Yeah. Walking past Racing Point's garage on the pit walk in testing as well. All you could hear was massive swearing as well because one of the car crashed in
Yeah,
the end of the
I
hour.
mean they turn around and go, "Can you do that?" And they go, "No." Just
Absolutely, yeah. The Dutch...
did you manage to get it out of me? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
Hang on. Instagram.
So we're not allowed to say any of the. Oh, it's,
Hang on. Instagram has just...
What in Liberty?
Instagram has just installed a new feature where it automatically detects the swear words after you've done the video.
He
and
turned me
switched
off.
It off. Yeah, I did. And it mutes it out. Got to get through these chats because they're coming through thick and fast while we're on
Okay.
ad break. Been unfortunate Tuesday boring
We got
race.
Laura cycling with a purple bricks woman advertising something.
This Hamilton guy, lol, says Syntho, because Hamilton's gone second on a 1:18, 4:61. He's getting close.
He's a good little rookie, is Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. The Dutch commentator swears sometimes, and I love it. His passion and enthusiasm is perfect. Because of him,
Yeah,
I'm a
it's-
fan
it-
of
it-
commentators, and I'm watching you right now. Well,
Yeah, and you know the Dutch guy.
Glad to
The
have you.
Dutch guy is really good.
Yeah.
You know, he's a bit like Murray, and he gets very excited, doesn't he?
Cynthia says, haha, Yuki is great too. And Beth has put real bad adjectives referring to matters in an amusing, coarse, or intuitive way. we're about to comment. I couldn't read it because it's on the smaller screen.
It's his brother that's got an English degree.
Yeah, not me. I've got a
He only barely speaks English, don't you?
Yes, and I've got actually a television production degree, not a complete media degree. It's actually, what is it? It's an FDA. It's an FDA in TV production and a BA honours in TV and media.
Cost me a fortune.
Cost you a bloody fortune. Hang on a minute. What?
I'm swearing now.
Hang on a minute. Cost you a fortune.
You were the I had
You
to
were the
contribute
least.
to the least because you didn't go away to live.
You contributed the
You went
least.
to the local university.
You, do you know what? The only thing you actually gave during university was £600, and that was supposed to get me to Barcelona after I spent £1,000.
Did I?
You gave me £600 to get to Barcelona when I had, because you gave me £100 cash
Yeah, hang on.
and £500
Hang on,
elsewhere.
hang on a minute. I forgot about that.
It was taken off the money that I owed.
No, it
that you owed
isn't.
me.
I've looked at the book. It hasn't. It's not. Right.
He's writing that
Josh
down.
says £600 he still owes me for Barcelona 2 years ago.
2019, according to this thing.
2019.
I think Synthol
Right.
says.
I'm just doing the interest.
Oh, well, you do that. I'll mute you. Because Synthol has said, I think I looked up something like.
£224.80.
All right. Synthol says, I think I looked up something like Bahrain 2020 commentator reactions and found you. Oh, well, that's how you. Oh, well, that's a great introduction.
Who, me?
Isn't it? Oh, but all
Or
of us.
him?
Well, commentator reactions as well. So, yeah, that's.
Well, who
yeah.
isn't? If you see, possibly, we thought Roman
Rogan.
Grosjean.
You can buy
Rogan.
both of them now.
Yeah,
Roman Grosjean.
we
yeah,
thought
there you go.
Rogan,
Yeah.
the IndyCar specialist Rogan.
Yeah.
We thought we thought he died.
Completely, yeah. It was
Yeah,
horrific
and so
accident.
the first thing I was
Yeah, to swear. I
was
tried to put in the
to
commentary.
say the
yeah.
F word, but I apologise for it straight away. But
It was a very unusual accident because immediately
I
you
was
go,
I was a taxi driver for 20 years. I know how to swear,
back to the comments
and
as
I've
well.
been I have been married.
Hang on. It was Carlos Sainz of the radio
Yeah.
saying this Hamilton guy.
I've been married 36 years this
Something
year
like that.
in about a couple of weeks' time.
36 on the 18th.
36
of May,
on the
yeah,
18th of May. So I really know how to swear.
yeah. This is what I said.
She
that-
said
yeah,
I
okay.
put up with she puts up with a lot from me, and I say, well, I put up more from you.
Beth said, did I just hear a
But
naughty
I
word?
love
Tustus?
her. Me?
No, me.
Yeah, I
Syn-
did. I heard you swear.
Synthol said, that's different actually. It's not actually a swear
Yeah, I
word.
thought he died too. Yeah, Synthol
Yeah.
thought he died too.
Yeah.
And it's a natural reaction. I remember my elder two used to watch downhill skiing on a Saturday
yeah.
morning.
I think you said that at the
And
time, actually. in the Red Flag period,
I had the. How do you explain to 8 and 10-year-olds that the girl that they've been watching and supporting for all those weeks had just been killed?
Yeah.
And it was awful to explain to them that no, she's gone. I'm afraid.
It's horrible. Oh, hang on. Yuki Tsunoda coming out to 9
They thought
of the
no,
birds.
she'll get up in a minute,
Yeah.
but she didn't. But,
We've
they-
commentated.
she died.
I think I've commentated. I commentated obviously on Bianchi. Oh, hang on. Tsunoda's on the radio. Oh, the car switched off. Tsunoda's
Yeah.
car switched off, but it's still going.
So they stopped
Yeah.
watching that on a Saturday morning,
Yeah.
and went over to NBA basketball
It didn't help
and
though.
supported the Chicago
Yeah,
lot.
it also didn't help that a couple of weeks later Senna died
Yeah.
live on television as well. That was a really bad one as well. I'm not watching F1 for long, so I never seen such a crash before. Well, as I said in the commentary,
There hasn't been
yeah.
as many
yeah.
fireball crashes like that as you think.
We're on an audio up lap right now, so let's go through. You can turn up your televisions where you're watching and ride with Valtteri Bottas down towards turn 1 over 200 miles an hour, 8th gear, flat on the brakes, down to 3rd gear, flick the car in first to the right, then hold to the left as well. Now get the apex right for turn 3, because if you're not right, it spits you offline onto the Astro curb. Bottas has got it okay on the run up towards turn 4 into Repsol, down 2 gears, 5th gear corner, flick through uphill, and and then pull 6th gear, downhill into the braking zone into the stay-out corner, 3rd gear, flick the car to the left, accelerate downhill underneath the bridge. Like if you stand on it where the car goes underneath it, it's vibrating like mad. Through 7 and 8, uphill corners as well. Turn 9, flat out through the Campos section, flick the car in, full throttle, don't worry about going too wide. The exit curve has got rumble strips, down to the new turn 10. Now this used to be a 2nd gear corner, it's changed. It's much more flat out, a later braking zone, 3rd gear corner now, rise back uphill into turn 12, much more acceleration zones, keep it in 4th gear, accelerate down the exit, downhill into turn 13 as well, quick flick to the left, back to the right and left again into the last two, 14 and 15, the worst corners on the track, 60 miles an hour, accelerate out of turn 16 as well, full throttle round New Holland and across the line, and Bottas does a 1:18.309, but Hamilton's going faster in the 2nd sector anyway, so Hamilton might take it at the line.
When it happened, we had that reaction. Crofty,
Yeah.
the first thing he did was grab the arms of the 2 co-commentators.
Yeah, because Martin was there, and
which means let me speak.
Yeah.
And he, after the initial automatic thing about the crash, within 10 seconds, his brain had ticked in, realised that this could be a fatal, and went into Murray mode. And Murray taught everybody that there are times to be excited and there are times to tone it down.
Yeah,
and that's what we did as well.
Yeah.
We went
quiet as possible,
quiet and as calm as possible. And Murray always thought that it would be right to do that.
Yeah.
To try and not make it
this is exciting
worse
stuff. Yeah.
situation for the young people watching.
Yeah.
And I thought Crofty, I don't know what your commentators did. I've heard the French commentator, he was panicking. He's friends with Roman. He was panicking.
His wife was the French TV reporter all those years ago.
Yeah. They used that's how they knew each other personally.
Movistar,
I have heard the Portuguese lad, and he did the same as Crofty did, which was go into Murray mode and bring it down.
Ben Edwards' reaction, you said you think he redid it.
Yeah, because Ben's initial one was a bit like ours.
Yeah, I think it didn't sound.
When you commentating on a highlight show like Ben Edwards did,
you have the opportunity.
You have the opportunity to do that all the time.
Yeah.
If you get a link wrong, or you think, "Oh, I said that earlier in the program," you just change it.
Yeah, you can.
That happens in football as well a lot.
They do live commentary, then edit it back. But I think what it is the beginning of qualifying is pre-recorded, and then they join in a live feed that's been done during the session. But I think Ben might have redone that one because it was all over a bit too quickly. But yeah, going back to this at the moment, Cynthia says Dutch commentator was calm as well. Yeah, Beth is happy with Seb and great stuff. 14 and 15.
The car switched off. Because it's.
Oh yeah, Sonoda says Sonoda went over the curves and the car switched off. I think the same happened to Russell when he drove over that drain in Baku in 19. Yeah, well, with the drain cover, it came up and destroyed the engine, so that was an immediate shut off. With Sonoda's, I think it was more battery issue that looked like it.
Do you know what we had in IndyCar in Alabama? We had a situation where you've got pedals that do the clutch. And the gears. Right, on the back. Well, there's also a pedal under that takes hooks the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and I think it was Newgarden who he actually
pressed the wrong gear.
He pressed that instead of thing, and actually it came off.
And
he came off, and he went out onto the grass. Do you remember?
And he calls that.
And he's got the gun in his hand, and he's quickly reasserts it.
I remember.
But that cuts the engine out.
Yes, automatically.
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah.
You just wonder whether or not his gear stick was on. Sorry, his gear stick. steering
Clutch
wheel
pedal,
was
yeah.
on correctly connected inwards, or was it moving a little bit?
Well, we've seen that with the Alpha Towers before. They've had to change wheels in
Yeah,
Romania and
they
in
are having
Portugal.
some
Yeah.
technical problems. Also, if you go over something and you
Sorry, kind of question there. Sainz coming to that 15 16 chicane, and he almost lost the rear, but it was a quick jolt. He managed to save it.
and if you cause a temporary going over something, you can cause a temporary glitch
Yeah, in the senses, yeah.
in your battery
We had that a lot in
situation.
where do we have it a lot?
If the
Singapore.
electrical
Yeah.
feed, it can go like that.
We had that a lot in Singapore because.
Oh yeah, because they have the subway.
Yeah, underneath.
Underneath
tunnel,
so
yeah.
I think it's
19.
19.
Under
Yeah.
that little, it goes under
Yeah.
the tunnel. And there's a
Yeah.
subway beneath it.
And there's a subway, and lots of them had problems because when they went there and a train was going down the subway,
yeah.
the electrical connection that connects the radio from the from the subway train
Picked it and
picked
switched
up
off
on the thing and
yeah.
switched off the engines.
The amount of red flags we had in practice in 2008 for that was unbelievable. And at the moment, Martin Brundle's at turn 12.
I miss Singapore.
It's back this year, don't worry.
It's the oldest part of a track in Formula One, I believe.
It
It's
is.
It's even older than anything in Monaco.
Yeah, the Anderson
and
Bridge.
The Anderson Bridge,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fantastic building that
Got
one.
pictures of my dad on the Anderson Bridge.
We need to
and
find-
at the,
yeah.
and at the
Yeah.
Raffles Hotel where he was stationed.
Where the Singapore Sling was invented.
Yes.
That lovely drink just outside, yeah. Martin Brundle is down on the rallycross section of the track, which is also the exit curb, and that is where I picked up this very gravel that I've been waiting for Martin to get down there. The gravel I picked up back at Barcelona. I have a gravel collection. Look, there it is. Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya from 2019. Picked up there. It's a nice little gravel as well. See what
I
mean by
offered him
rough?
from
Hang on.
some from the road,
Oh, do you see
but
what I
he
mean?
wouldn't have it. He says it's not the same.
Feel it. It's quite chalky as well, the gravel. It's not like normal stone. It's a bit more like chalk.
Yeah.
The feeling of it.
Yeah, but the
Yep.
the gravel that they've got down on the top surface because of the MotoGP at Barcelona on the
Same one, yeah.
on the main bits that things is almost 3 times that size.
Yeah, it's massive. And this was
It's
on the exit.
massive.
Yeah, this is the exit
These are
curve, yeah.
this is the exit curves
This
for,
is
for Formula
yeah,
One.
This
It's
is almost where
anywhere where
Gasly
you
went
think
off, yeah.
that it's going to be a corner where the MotoGP lads
Yeah.
will ride off.
Bigger things.
I understand.
Like this.
I,
yeah,
under,
where is it?
I
Yeah.
have now watched a certain Australian,
Jack Miller. Yeah.
Jack.
Beth was happy.
Now there's a lad.
There you go. Sorry, that's about the size of the gravel trap we see there. The bigger pieces as well. That's on the side of the track.
Jack Miller is a complete lunatic, lovely, crazy guy, and I'll tell you what, he was first to agree, and then admit that he changed his riding style because with the help of Carl Crutchlow,
Need these on the shelf. in
Carl Crutchlow, who's
Yeah.
had to retire, and he said that helped him win that race.
Jack Miller in the MotoGP race the other week, which we covered here as well. I know quite a lot of you was watching as well. Absolutely fantastic ride.
Yeah.
He's got a
'Cause,
championship.
You know,
championship,
he
yeah.
saved his tyres right till the end. He just kept behind all the way to about 4 laps from the end, and then once he'd gone taking him.
Gone, yeah.
I mean,
Backed off
everybody
of it,
will
yeah.
say, yeah, there was that problem with the other bike, but you
It
know,
was fine.
and Quartararo.
Is that Verstappen's having a problem down at turn
That was
10? Yeah.
that was something that happens in Formula One. I know some of the F3 drivers have had a problem with what you call arm pump,
Yeah.
where the muscle is
There. When you go like
yeah.
that with your arm and it moves up a little bit.
the muscle is so big in your
Yeah.
arm that
Oh,
it needs
Mazepin's
to
done
be
it again.
opened up and cut.
Mazepin's done it again. The team have released him right into the path of Kimi Raikkonen, and then Mazepin sort of slowed down in the pit lane. Raikkonen, very annoyed, overtook him in the pit lane. But that was more of Haas's fault for releasing Mazepin into the path of Raikkonen, and then Mazepin slowed down in the fast lane.
I mean, we was discussing last time, weren't we? Hang on, Newgarden is great number 2 for Scott McLaughlin. He's amazing. You know, he is.
Yeah.
He has come from. He's New Zealander, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
And he's come from Australian supercars.
Yep, V8 Well, it was
V8s.
V8. Now I think it's V6, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just the normal supercars. Beth, I know you do watch the IndyCars as well on the coverage we put on here.
She's hashtag Bathurst gravel.
That's
So
Catalan.
Bathurst.
Well,
Yeah, I
need to
think
go
he
there,
won the
yeah.
Bathurst
He
race,
did. He
didn't
did
Yeah.
several times. Yeah.
But you know, the guy, Jimmy Johnson has come in 7 times NASCAR champion.
And he's struggling. Yeah.
And he's struggling. Other people have come from other formulas this year into
Grosjean.
IndyCar,
Yeah.
and he's struggling. One of the major things that's different is that unlike Formula One and Formula 3 and that, there's no power steering in Formula 3.
No, it's not.
There's no power steering in IndyCar, and places like Alabama, it goes through the leather gloves and it whirs.
Yeah.
And
On your
you know,
palm,
they quite a few of them had big, massive holes in their palms
blisters
from the
yeah,
blisters.
Yeah. And they had to race a week later at where did they race from round 2? St. Pete. And then they had to do it.
Jimmy Johnson said, "What I was trying to say earlier." He said that in IndyCar, the difference between IndyCar and NASCAR is that it's so much faster and the braking is so much different.
Yeah.
And that's when Alonso. That's the problem with Alonso. Alonso's come back and he's been beaten by his teammate up to now because of the fact that he's not used to it anymore. But he's a genius. Alonso is a genius. It will click. And that's the thing with Danny Rick. Danny Rick's done this.
Yeah.
This is the 5th time he's changed teams. And looking back at the statistics for those teams, it took about 5 races for him to get used to the car.
Yeah. Absolutely. Synthil says Mazepin couldn't. Oh, hang on a minute. Where are we on? 27, 29. Mazepin couldn't do anything about that. No need to blame Mazepin when it wasn't his fault. Just like the people say they crashed with the Tiffany. Mazepin was Mazepin's fault. Well, there's nothing he could do about that. Well, no. As I said just a second ago in the comms, it wasn't the team released Mazepin into the fast lane, but what Mazepin did was actually he slowed down in the fast lane because he thought Raikkonen was alongside, which he wasn't at the time. That angered Raikkonen, and Raikkonen just drove right past him. That was what Mazepin did. He just was unsure and a bit cautious coming out of the pit box. But that was Mazepin's
and Beth, I believe that what she's meaning there about Jimmy Johnson still alive, surprised, is that in the last race.
He didn't race in that one.
No, that he.
St. Pete. Yeah.
St. Petersburg that he raced in. There was at least 2 occasions where
he caused the yellow.
He caused the crash that happened behind him or in front of him.
Let me think. Race 1 at Alabama, he caused.
He took the air out of one of them, didn't he?
Yeah. Hang on, let's think. Race one at Alabama. He was involved in that first caution when Newgarden spun, but got through it. Wasn't a factor. He did cause the second caution because he stalled the car. St. Petersburg, he went off at the last corner, didn't he? Couldn't find the reverse gear and stalled the engine. That brought out the caution. Then the second caution, he spun out of turn 2.
He fully admits at 45, 46 years old that he wanted a challenge, and he didn't realise how big a challenge it is. Right, I hope he stays safe because he's got a young family. He's got, I think he's 3 daughters. Youngest one's a
baby,
and then there's one. He's got a girl about 12 and a girl about 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Right, he's quite like Grosjean. He's quite a big family man, isn't he? And like Raikkonen.
I've watched Jimmy Johnson for a long time in the NASCAR series. When I get a chance to actually watch NASCAR, I usually watch it back during the week.
He's a crazy person, even in NASCAR.
He was fantastic, and it's disappointing me as well. He's taking so long to get used to it.
But he's exciting, isn't he?
Second spin was a caution. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly, and he didn't race at Texas. Not Pietro Fittipaldi. Who took his seat there? Name escapes me. Who took Johnson's seat at?
It's the one whose name looks like Fittipaldi, but he's pronounced like Fittipaldi, but it isn't.
It wasn't Ferrucci because he's not racing anymore.
No, it's not one of the Fittipaldis, is it?
He's
actually. They pronounce the name like Fittipaldi, but it's not.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look back at the notes and get back.
Unless
to
it was a mistake on the graphs.
Could be, graphics. I know Fittipaldi replaced Grosjean for the oval races.
We've got a Fittipaldi racing here, Enzo. He's racing this weekend.
Enzo Fittipaldi.
Enzo Fittipaldi. He's the grandson
of Emerson. Yeah.
Of Emerson. Is he the one that gave Emerson his first trophy? in the documentary?
Could be.
Or is that the
Oh, I'm not sure, you know.
he comes into his office
Yeah.
when Emerson's being interviewed and says, "Granddad,
yeah.
I won this, and I want you to have it."
I think it was him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Enzo.
Pietro Fittipaldi doing dual wieldings with Haas at Formula One and IndyCar with
And
Carlin.
Charles Leclerc's brother is in the thing you were saying this morning.
Arthur Leclerc.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
a whole
Yeah.
about 70% of the field are rookies, aren't they? In the Formula 3 this year.
40% of them, yeah.
Is it 40?
Oh, what did you say, 70?
Yeah.
I thought you said 70. I couldn't remember if it was 40 or 70. Yeah, you're right, it is 17. With 30 remaining the same and 10 on reserve for COVID reasons. Is it me or does Perez have a lot of vibrations? Yeah, it's the wind causing it, and the vibrations over for the Red Bulls have never been that strong. Last weekend we had issues when it was high wind at Portimao, so the Red Bull is suffering with vibrations at the moment. Beth says, I wonder why Ambrose didn't do better in transitioning to NASCAR, given they aren't too far removed from the V8. Yeah, we've had a problem there. He didn't do well at Daytona. I must admit. I know you don't think you've seen that one, but yeah.
NASCAR and V8.
Yeah,
Australian supercars and V8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen little bits of it. Yeah.
And I always try to watch the Clipsal 500, but sadly it was cancelled this year, and it doesn't look like to go back yet at Adelaide. I loved Adelaide so much, and I wish.
If you asked your mum for a famous NASCAR driver, she would say Don Osmond.
Yes, yeah, Donny Osmond was a NASCAR driver.
NASCAR driver.
And
It used to
winner.
be. If you see any pictures of about 20 years ago, and the car's livery is MTV.
Yes, yeah.
That is Don Osmond.
And he was racing. Yeah, you can't believe it when you say that. Donny Osmond was actually a NASCAR
Oh, he's done
driver.
everything,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he's
He
done everything. Yeah.
Dream coat guy as well. Dancing with the Stars, he won that and then became a judge and things like that. I've seen him in concert because obviously my wife's a fan.
I've seen the other two.
I've seen Donny and Marie in concert and they are amazing. They really are amazing.
I've seen Mo
And guess what? Right? I heard a quote from one of the Rolling Stones that the best pop rock record ever was Crazy Horses by the Osmonds. And I could not understand why.
Then they performed
Right?
it.
And wait for it. And we went in the Nottingham Ice Arena, right? It was
Freezing
about-
floor, isn't it?
Yeah, nine to 10,000 people there watching Donny and Marie Osmond, right? And Donny has already done
Yeah.
Crazy Horses, and I'd turn around to your mum and go, "Yeah, I don't get what the Rolling Stones are on about, because two Rolling Stones have said this, and I just don't get it, right?" And then Marie comes out and says, "My brother's here."
Yeah, not that one. The other.
The other one, the one who actually sang it
Yeah.
on the record. And he says, "We're going to do it again." And he says, "I'm going to go on drums." And Donny went on drums,
Yeah.
right? Because the drums are an amazing part of it. So he took over from his nephew on drums. And his brother sang the song. And then I understood.
Yeah.
He's a lot deeper than Donny ever could get. And he has such passion in it.
Yeah.
And I get what the Stones meant. Because, believe it or not, the Stones come from a background of the blues. They were part of a number of groups like Status Quo, not Alex Harvey, I can't remember his name, blues band, the famous blues band in the 1960s. And so the Stones, although they're major rock and roll stars, they actually have their beginnings in the blues. And another thing about Don Osmond, before we get back to the track and that, because we're on adverts, you see, is that do you know when Michael Jackson used to go missing?
Yes, he's done a latest disappearing act. Many people think he's still alive.
I
But
know.
go on.
Well, Michael Jackson and Elvis, right?
Yeah.
Donny Osmond has a big house in a lot of grounds with a really large wall around it, and that's where Michael used to go. They were great friends, and that's where the things. And also, there's the link with Andy Williams with the Osmonds.
Everyone's got a link at the moment,
where they started as kids. Jimmy was about 2 years old when he was on that show, and the biggest link is and biggest influence on them is their mother was the exact image.
Yeah.
If you look at pictures of Elvis's mother.
Identical.
And especially after Elvis's mother died, Elvis just latched on to the Osmond family because of Olive, their mother, reminding him of, and he had a big influence on some of their stuff. I'm a soul person. Ricardo Montalban, Mr. What's he called, Mr. Rock?
I don't know where you're going with that one.
Yeah, Fantasy Island. Ricardo Montalban was the guy from Fantasy Island with the little lad.
Oh, right.
He was a little person that, Buzz the plane Buzz.
I can't remember.
Ricardo Montalban. Right, he once raced in NASCAR in 1980, and yes, it was the Merc
Red Bull, or any combination thereof. Sadly, it doesn't.
Beth is still doing this.
What I love,
this reverse psychology.
Hang on.
She's saying Danny Rick doesn't stand a chance either.
Can I say, we are also broadcasting on radio. When you read the group chat, the radio listeners can't. That's why I always read out the full thing.
Yeah, Paulie Newman. Paulie Newman used to be a racing driver. Paul Newman used to be a racing driver. I did, what's his name? Him who was in the Rockford Files.
Don't look at me.
James Garner.
Yeah, he was.
James Garner was a racing driver as well.
To go through those, Beth said that Ricardo Montalban raced once in NASCAR in the 1980s. It will be Merc, Red Bull, or any combination thereof, sadly. That's replying to Synthel's message, who's put, please, not another Mercedes dominant race.
So and Danny Rick.
Yeah.
And
then sadly, Danny Rick doesn't stand
I'm going to give you a bit of faith here in Danny Rick. In his wins, they've all been unexpected.
You tell me again. Yeah, you're right, actually. I can't. Monaco 18.
And if Lando can be up there,
yeah,
right, like he was in practice one and like he has been in the last races, right, once Danny Rick, who's got more experience and just as much talent as Lando, then you never know. If something happens,
hang on,
you can win a race.
Looked into Canada in 14, sort of dominated Hungary 14, Belgium 14, he sort of looked into. Then going into... I would say there's only been 2 races that Ricciardo's dominated. Would be Hungary 2014 and Monaco 2018. Yeah. They're the only 2 I can think of that have been dominant. Martin's at the last corner now, peering through a fence.
Paul Newman Ranch Salad, is great, and he's made an absolute fortune out of it. There's about 6 different types, but other ranch salads, including Her Majesty's, are available. What do you think about Alpine? We touched on it this morning. That it's been the talk of the paddock. The improvement in Alpine at the last race has been the talk of the paddock, hasn't it?
Jotan says, what do you guys think about Alpine for the weekend?
Shouting, she says, I can hear it.
Jotan says, what do you guys think about Alpine for the weekend? He needs some professional help with my fantasy team. Alpine looking strong for another double points finish. I think Alonso has a shot of being in the top 5. Ocon maybe in the top 10, but Ocon has out-qualified and outperformed Alonso in both races that they've both finished.
These are the longer runs, and Ocon is 4th in the table up to now in the longer runs, so he's doing well this weekend. Alonso's just behind him, so they're looking good on the long run strategy in the testing.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah. And yet again, right? Alonso's a genius. One day he'll get in that car and it'll just be like riding a bike to him, and he'll be back to the Alonso of old,
up there
making the moves that other people don't ever think about.
A lot of pre-season testing,
defending subtly. I love the subtleness of him when he defends.
Look at that gravel.
There's the gravel.
Yeah, there it is.
There's
same,
the bigger
same
gravel.
Colour. Just to prove, look, it's the same colour.
Just larger.
Yeah.
At that turning, because it's a MotoGP runoff track.
Yeah, I think they've replaced quite a lot of the gravel in the exit, but I got that from the side of the track.
If it's too small for MotoGP on the fast corners, they don't slow down. We did have a situation a few weeks ago at one of the Spanish tracks where they slowed down too much. They stopped the bikes, but not the riders.
Straight on into the wall. Megan's just texted me saying, I don't have to be in the box, do I? No, Megan, you don't.
How long have we got to go?
16 minutes.
16 minutes.
No.
I think I can hold out today.
Yeah, Megan will be back in for free practice 3 tomorrow, and he's gone. We'll next see you actually in qualifying, where you'll double up with me.
I want to watch the young ones now. After this morning.
Yeah. Well, Q1 and Q2 will be myself and you commentating.
Just once in every lifetime.
Yeah.
You just have to.
What about that? I'm looking forward to Q3 because I'll be in the commentary box prepping for Formula E's race, but Megan gets to call.
That's the thing. It's like a number of our comedies go to Germany, Holland, but they mainly used to always go to Australia and New Zealand and South Africa and things like that.
All over the world.
Actually, Swazi TV in South Africa had them because there was a ban on the state broadcaster. You had to get Swazi TV to get it.
Maybe the auntie could help with that one a little bit,
but but also I do know that some of our comedies had their own Australian versions with the same people down under.
Just redid it,
I think I'm pretty sure On the Buses did that with a spin-off. Are You Being Served did a spin-off of it
with Mr. Humphries.
Down Under.
The same episodes, just with only Mr. Humphries. Yeah.
We're in the last 15 minutes, so everybody is. Is there anybody not out on track? I think there is. There's one.
Everyone's
missing.
out. No, Ricardo's just come back out. Yeah, everyone's out on the track. Yeah, they're all out there.
Yeah, because look, Ricardo's just gone red.
Yeah.
In the thing that says he's leaving the pits.
I'm trying to look for him on the monitor, and I can't see him at the moment.
Well, that's because I think the transponders work fine once the car's been past turn 3, but before it gets to turn 3, it's invisible.
Bottas is held up behind one of the Haas. Verstappen being told that in terms of the data they've got right now, the early signs look like they're going to be looking after the front left more in the race.
Yeah.
Beth says it's reverse psychology approach this week.
Yeah, I know it is.
Might work. And nearly everyone on track says Synthol as well. So this is all getting very much out there, very much hands-on for the last 13.5 minutes.
Sometimes that works. I've known managers that have turned around to the team and gone, we're only going out there for pride this week.
Yeah, we're not going to win it. Nothing.
We're not going to win this. Knowing that that's having a go at their professionalism.
Yeah.
And they've gone out there and, they've lost the previous two, but just gone out there and won.
Who did that?
We were talking about Man City. Man City actually lost to a lower league side because they didn't. They had nothing to fear.
Look at
reverse psychology there.
I'm trying to
remember,
amongst
themselves.
We had an Australian version of Are You Being Served? It was called You Right for a Slap of VP Cobbler. Is that far too
the innuendos in Are You Being Served are so brilliant.
Mrs. Slocum and her cat.
Our local lady, yes, Miss Molly Sugden, who's a Yorkshire lady. She made lots of shows up at Yorkshire TV down there in Leeds, and she was either the biggest victim of those lines or said them themselves. Yeah. It was all about the pussy.
I loved as well that it came back a couple of years ago, didn't it? In that on a BBC One comedy.
Oh yeah, they tried out 6 things, and Porridge was brilliant because the thing with Porridge was that Fletcher and Fletcher, who was the other Godber? Godber was supposed to have married the Fletcher's daughter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And they'd had a son who was an IT expert who hacked into a computer, stole a load of money, and got sent to prison.
The same one.
Yeah.
With Fletcher.
Yeah. And he was exactly like his granddad. He knew all the little tricks and things like that. And that ran for 1 series. I've got the series. Was it 2?
I think it was 2 in the end, yeah.
And then the BBC just dropped it.
Yeah, well,
different controllers at the BBC.
I don't think there is a comedy there at the moment at the BBC. That reminds me of another thing. I can't remember. It's cracking at my brain. That's it. My favourite line in Porridge as well. What did you do with the earth then from the hole? And he turns around and he says...
We dug a hole and buried it.
And then, because then it obviously leads up. What are you doing with the earth?
My favourite line from it was when in the very first episode or second episode, where they're doing all the medical and filling out the forms and things like that, and they get to Mr. Eslop, right? Brian played Mr. Eslop, and he's so brilliant. He was a professional teacher in real life, professional wrestler, and very articulate and very brainy and things like that. So the writers made him the thick one, right? And they came to the things, and there's him and Godber sat there, and he goes, right, Mr. Eslop, so many years, what? Yes, sir. Born 1st of April. And Godber, he looked at Godber and goes, "You could have guessed it." And it's the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. Right, that's my favourite line.
Beth says the Aussie Mr. Slocum was renowned for saying, "My dingo went as flat out as a lizard drinking." I haven't seen much of the Aussie version, actually. I only know Mr.
Yeah, but we
Humphrey
can look them up.
Yeah, we'll have a watch.
We can look these things up.
10 minutes to go. All cars back out on the track. Leclerc did briefly come back in, but
And
she's
as I
just changed
mentioned
tyres.
in new episodes of Days of Our Lives,
you
they've
got it
actually
back?
still no, I haven't got that back. I'm missing NBC4 New York. NBC4 New York, and let's have a look at the traffic on the tunnel there. They've all gone into the wall.
Tell you what, that was fantastic, with being able to watch American news when the riot
still
was
can.
happening.
Yeah,
the riot was
I can
happening.
still get
yeah.
CBS and all the things like
Yeah,
that.
but do you remember the riot when they stormed the
White House.
Yeah, not the White House. What was it called?
Capitol building.
Capitol building, that's it. They stormed the Capitol.
Yeah, I mean, ITN
Yeah.
ended up with the best coverage of that because they had a guy that had just been doing an interview
Right there,
with
yeah.
a camera crew,
and he was in there. He was in
and
the
they
building,
piled
wasn't
in
he?
front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a really bad time as well for America, but it was
But
great
yeah,
coverage.
what I was saying
yeah.
is, anybody who watched Friends, famously, he was in Joey was in Days of Our Lives, and he fell down the lift shaft. The lifts are still in the show.
Yeah.
They were until a few weeks ago, and it's still as bad.
Yeah.
It was compelling. If I was just bored in an afternoon, around about 5 o'clock, I would switch NBC4 on and just watch an episode of Days of Our Lives because it's just like a comedy.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
we've got to get that back, and maybe we can import some DVDs now. You've got a region-free DVD player.
I won't go that far.
Why? That over there, that's a region-free Blu-ray player. That's the PlayStation 4.
Still won't go that far.
Your DVD player, I think, is region-free, which means it can play anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, looking good. I was amazed to discover, literally, on my birthday, that my PlayStation 5 finally decided to play DVDs because it wasn't doing it up until then. We tried it, didn't we, on day one? It
Yeah,
wouldn't
something to
work,
do
yeah.
with the download, I think.
Yeah, and then we had an update, and suddenly it worked. So thumbs up for that, Sony.
Maybe they didn't think people needed them anymore, but if you've got a
Well,
Blu-ray
yeah.
player, it'll play DVDs.
Yeah, and you want it,
and
yeah.
it's just a software
Exactly, yeah.
fix.
And it's great because now I can
The
watch
actual
New Tricks.
system's
yeah.
the same.
Yeah, I'm now on season 3 of New Tricks, and I'm trying to dual wield it with
Oh,
Gilmore
yes,
Girls
yes.
as well.
As a family, his family present this year for
Yes.
his birthday was all
12.
12 series of New Tricks.
And I'm loving it. I'm on season 3. I'm trying to take it slow.
I enjoyed
yeah.
the first one, which you made all of us watch.
Yeah, it was fun. The one with the dog.
Couldn't believe how young she looked.
Yeah, that was Amanda Redmond. Anyway, back in time. Well, actually, back in the current with Fernando Alonso on the track at the moment. Alonso comes into his home Grand Prix weekend, and do you know the driver I feel
He's
sorry
happy
for?
though, isn't
He's
he?
happy, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
happy, and right. Somebody in the press conference asked him about how you got into into Formula One, and he pointed out
Bernardi,
that there
wasn't
should
it?
be
Yeah.
more go-kart tracks like he's got.
There's actually a brilliant. Thank you for bringing that up. There's a brilliant little go-kart track in the car park at Barcelona, just alongside the last corner.
I've seen you and your
Yeah,
friends on it.
Actually, yeah. Well, I'll tell you a quick story as we have from Gasly.
It will have to be a quick
yeah,
story because
that-
we are
6
running
minutes
out
to go, yeah.
of time.
We had an opportunity.
Aha.
We had an
Yes,
opportunity.
go, Josh, go.
Now, we were in the paddock every day,
Yep.
but we had the opportunity to race the go-karts on days
Did-in.
1 and days 4. I did it on day 3 as well because we had to get some footage, and I was feeling a bit because I wasn't feeling very well, so I went round the track for a bit of a that's nice. Anyway, yeah. So on day 4, the last day there's me, Dane, and Connor, and we'd all agreed the night before that for this last race we would all do it like a normal start. So we'll go single file, and then on the last corner we'll come back out, go 2 abreast, and then bang, away we go.
But you're like me, you cheat at everything.
No, I didn't cheat. I go out the pit lane slow, and all of a sudden, I see Connor and Dane whiz past me. I'm like, okay, they've just gone. So I put my foot down. It's electric go-kart, so fully down, racing through the first couple of corners, and then I've caught up at the end of the second lap because we get 8 minutes out there. So it's about 20 laps of the track. So we get up there, and then we come down to turn 1. I can see in front of them, I've got such a great acceleration at the last corner, so I've just sent it. And all three of us are side by side with each other, going down to the first corner, which turns in slightly to the left, and there's a wall there, because it turns to the left and flicks you back to the right and swings around a hairpin. So I know that if I don't back out of this, because I'm on the outside, I'm going slam into the wall with these two alongside me. So I back out of it, swing back alongside, coming behind Dane. Dane goes side by side with Connor. They come round into the hairpin. Dane hits Connor. Connor spins out. Dane goes backwards into the hairpin. I take the lead. And then I'm just literally leading for the last couple of minutes thinking, please don't pass me. Because my cart was starting to die because it's electric. So I was thinking, please don't pass me.
Do you remember that? Because that's the only time you've won.
No. Yes.
Every time you
Yeah.
race with Meg and she just batters you out the way.
Yeah, this is the only time I've won. But honestly, and I've got Connor. Dane's now been lapped several times, because he's damaged his ankle, because at the time he couldn't walk properly. So he's damaged his ankle even worse than that crash. So Connor's right up my backside now after he's caught up after spinning. So it comes to the last lap before the end of the race. We're into the last sector, and he's right upside. And I just see behind me, he's coming into the hairpin in the penultimate corner. It's a very tight hairpin. You've got to go wide and swing it in. I see that he's going up the inside. So I quickly cut him off. I cut him off into the hairpin. I take a wide line and sharp in. And he wasn't actually there. But when I look back, he'd spun. He tried to get, because he'd come in on a tight angle. He's
gone too fast into the corner and turned around.
He's 90 degrees and he's spun round. So I look behind me and he's round and I'm going, yes, as I take the checkered flag.
Hamilton easing off in that last sector.
And you know, we were causing that much drama. There was a photographer who was taking photos of the cars who'd stopped taking photos of the cars and was now taking photos of us three having a scrap.
The three English idiots.
Yeah. And it's on the website somewhere on Barcelona's track. So yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was looking the other day. I was like, oh, there it is. I saved it. But you can see me in the go-kart in the intro to qualifying in the race tomorrow. It's part of the intro song loop.
What we've been talking about on the live chat and what we just need to talk about proves how, uneventful this practice 2 has been.
It really has, isn't it? We were excited because we thought, it's going to be a load of wind and it's going to be.
We thought the wind was going to play a major part in this second practice session.
We've seen one off from Verstappen. That was it.
We haven't seen what we saw this morning that much, which was people coming out the pits, so like slow.
Yeah.
When people behind them on fast laps. Used to be slap on the wrist time for that.
No, it's not. No.
Now it's not.
Since the last, why is Red Bull so far down? I can only say.
I think it's the testing things out. I don't think it's real.
I think you're right. I think they'll be right up there for FP3 tomorrow.
Got something. Do you know every time I come in here today?
There's something in. Yeah, I've been having that.
There's something in my eye.
Yeah.
Don't you ever clean this place?
We hoovered it literally during the IndyCar race.
Oh yeah, all the cobwebs have gone.
Yeah, because there was a spider, and I thought, I'm not having that.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look.
Your mum's got a shark hoover.
Beth says between now and tomorrow,
Still got the footprints on the ceiling though.
Yeah, we need to paint those really. Beth says between now and tomorrow, find Wired World of Sport, Billy Birmingham, in YouTube, and listen to around 27, 26 mark. You may not have heard previously. Well, I'm going to do that then. I'll save that because I like saving those, and I'll just copy that now and put it into a note so we won't forget, and we'll have a look at that later. That could be interesting.
I have brought my kids up to really appreciate comedy. They, whilst other people listen to music in the cars, they listen to things like Tony Hancock and things like that, and the Navy Lark. Yeah, so I've made them all weird.
I would like to say by choice, but he was in control of the radio.
I used to tell the elder two when he used to take him to school. He used to do all the voices for Hancock Meets Heartbeat.
Been to Heartbeat several times, which is go.
Yeah, we used to love walking where they film Heartbeat up in the North Yorkshire Moors. There's some lovely countryside walks there.
Do you-
Down towards the river and then up towards the
Yeah.
waterfall and down the old railway line, and the station with its steam trains, just fantastic.
I think we've all agreed that the two best family outings destinations we've all had is Goathland and Duxford.
Yeah, the kids all love Duxford, the War Museum there,
Fantastic.
which has got aircraft,
Oh, it's brilliant.
including a Concorde.
It's a former. It's RAF.
Yeah, it
Duxford.
used to be RAF Duxford
And
in the war, where
barracks are there and everything,
Emil Douglas Bader.
Yeah.
That's where he was based with his wing of he had 3 squadrons, didn't he, together
Yeah.
as this special wing that used to go off and take off on the
It's there,
Luftwaffe.
isn't it? It's out there. In the,
That was there,
It was
yeah.
the repair shop, wasn't it, when we saw it?
Oh, and the film Battle of Britain was made there,
yeah.
and they destroyed Hangar 4.
And yeah, they did. But
They blew it up in the film and blew it up in real life.
all those planes there work.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah,
Apart from the kamikaze
yeah,
ones.
There's a few of the
Yeah.
really old airliners that.
Yeah.
They restore them to actually
Yeah.
working condition.
You're allowed into the workshop.
and
yeah.
you see quite a few of the people who own them privately
Yeah.
taking them up with what we went on a day once, which was a special day, and they had all sorts of old things like even cruise missile launch vehicles and things like that. But it was also the same day they had the Rolls-Royce Day,
I remember that one.
and you had literally 30 or 40
Massive cars,
right, pre-war, pre-Second World War Rolls-Royces
just lined up. Yeah.
just racing round the airfield.
I remember. I can't remember them racing for.
They didn't have electric motors, but you
Sorry.
would think they would get so much dropping down.
Verstappen's,
So front.
Verstappen's broken his front wing off.
It's another one that's gone over, probably that turn 4.
Yeah, he's got.
And where that new bit of sleeping
yeah.
policeman,
And he's just cut it off.
and he's just cut it off. It's where they've
Here we go.
turn 10's where they've changed the asphalt because they've changed the corner, haven't they? There it is. Yeah, it's just the end plate.
It looks like it's actually snapped over that sleeping policeman suit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's hit that and just broke it off.
Honestly,
and Lewis
yeah.
did that in the accident,
Yeah.
didn't he?
That's
At
not
the last
yeah.
race with
Yeah,
Max
and Emilio Romagna, yeah.
on the other side.
That's not going to be a big issue at all because those side pods can literally be unscrewed and screwed back in for a new pair. That's nothing.
Yes, that's not a broken front
No.
wing that's in the bin. They'll have a dozen little bits that they can
That's-
just tie, screw on and screw off.
That's just
It's the main frame that if that's gone, you throw
yeah.
it.
It's T-cut and a bit of gaffer tape.
What
that's
they actually
fine.
do is they actually mince it up, don't they?
Yeah,
and recycle it.
Mince it out, recycle it, and quite a lot of them have gone into can productions of their own Red Bull one, which I find interesting.
And it's also got a lot of wear on that. Like we were saying earlier,
Front
that
left, yeah.
Red Bull's told him that all the data suggests that they're going to have a lot of wear on the inside of the front left.
Yeah.
And we saw there that it is tremendously bad.
This hasn't really been productive, has it? Yeah.
That looks like you're going to have at
Hang
least
on.
2 pit stops here.
What's happened? Oh, they've put Verstappen forward because Perez has come into the same pit box. So they've just shoved him forward for a bit. This isn't really told us anything. What's this? This is... Oh, this is how we
This
did
is
it.
where it did it, lot.
7 and 8. Yes, over the sleeping policeman, as you said. And then it's already
Yeah,
gone.
it's just a different place to what I thought it was. Yeah.
Actually, that's where the new sleeping policeman is. Look on the out.
Yeah,
look,
there
there
it
it
is.
is. There it is.
There it
look.
is. Bang.
Yeah. That's exactly where the
That
new
used to be
policeman
half
is,
the
yeah.
size last year.
Yeah, and now they've put it there to try and avoid track limits as an issue.
Yeah, we've also
Yeah.
got these 2 bollards where if you go wide at one place, you have to
Go through turn 1 and 2, yeah.
keep to the left and go to the left of the bollards.
On the form, it's down at turn 1 and 2. You've got to keep in the inside of the bollards, but you must take the MotoGP long lap route out. There's a physical route you have to take.
Yeah,
out.
that's
The one
Ant
that-
was saying that. Yeah.
the one the MotoGP's long lap. So there's an image of the 5 lights, 3 of them at the moment. There's your session results. Hamilton tops from Bottas. Gap is a tenth and a half of a second. Top 3 separated by 0.165. I do not believe, though, for a second that
Don't
Red
you
Bull
believe
dropped to
that
9th and
when
10th.
you send in them to do the interviews after the race,
Yeah.
like if you got fastest lap and it's been disqualified, because Christian's going mad about this.
I'm not
and
surprised. I
He's
can
made
see
a
why, yeah.
complaint.
I saw that,
and
yeah.
things like that. But it shouldn't be up to Paul de Resta to have to tell him. It's one of the officials.
Yeah.
Do you know who's not here at the moment, and I haven't seen him all season?
Who?
He's the guy that used to run all that.
Who?
You know, the guy that used to run the room they all go into and
Oh, yeah.
master of
not there.
ceremonies.
Yeah, he's not there, is he?
I haven't seen him. It's
No.
been that girl with the blonde hair.
Yeah, I haven't seen him at the moment.
So I hope he's
yeah.
okay.
And just to confirm, Michael Mazzi is the race director and safety delegate. The F1 permanent starter is Christian Broyle. At the moment as well, the media delegate is Tom Wood. So you're right. Yeah, he has changed at the moment for this race. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. Session over.
I wonder if he's not been well.
Maybe, yeah. We'll hope he's okay and we'll see him.
I think he was
soon.
Italian, wasn't he?
He was, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
been a lot of COVID in Italy, like there was here.
So, session over. And now we have to sort of think. I don't think we've actually seen the actual results at all. Do you?
No, I'm just
No, well,
making sure I got the interest right on that money.
all right. Synthil says, do you watch Formula Region by Alpine? You can watch it live on YouTube. Oh, I didn't know it was actually live on YouTube. I'll have to take a look at that. That's the support series here alongside Formula 3.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I do like it. I've seen it. I watched it when it was at Imola.
yeah.
I
We
did-
like.
yeah.
I mean, we've got our British touring car is back this weekend, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of support races in that, including Formula Renault and
Formula Renault,
Mini?
Minis, yeah. I
old
can't-
minis and
Ginettas, yeah.
Ginettas.
To give you the coverage details.
Yeah, these 40-year-old minis are racing around the track, and as if they just come out the factory. It's amazing how people renovate them.
Maybe this should be blue tacked instead of stuck on with a magnet board. Let's give you the coverage times then for tomorrow.
But it doesn't work when you pull it.
No, it doesn't because it's stuck on the wall of the commentary box. Okay, so practice 3. We're back tomorrow at 10:50. Me and Megan will be in commentary for that. We will be in commentary box 2 for qualifying at 1:40. Session underway at 2. I will be in the commentary box along with Dad for Q1 and Q2.
Because him and Ed are doing their
Right,
Formula E
yeah.
stuff in here.
Yep. So
So me and Megan will take over. So, you know.
yeah, Q3 will be fun. You two
we'll either
commentating.
be brilliant or boring.
I think it'd be fine.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I'm leaving Megan all-
anytime, and just don't know what to say.
We have to go for it. We've only got 2 minutes. Actually, we've only got 1 minute now. So we're going to have to go for it quick.
That's an
So
impression of a certain comedian.
we'll be back 10:50 tomorrow for practice 3, qualifying at 1:40, and you can watch the Formula E's Monaco E-Prix with me and Edward Hunter from 2:40. That gets underway at 3. On Sunday, British Touring Cars at 11:20 for round 1 live. I'm just commenting on that. Spanish Grand Prix at 1:30. Round 2 of the British Touring Cars is delayed. That'll be at 4:30 after the Formula 1. And then 5:15 live coverage of the third race of the day. And the Grand Prix review will be at 6:45 till 9. Dad, you've got 32 seconds.
Is Nick in it this year?
Yes, he is. Hamilton is
Nick
in the British Touring
Hamilton.
Cars.
Nick Hamilton drives his a British touring car.
Moment of the session. There wasn't really one, so I'm going to give you... Who do you think is going to be on pole tomorrow?
I think it's going to be Valtteri, but
Yeah.
I think everything is looking towards Max winning the race. But you can never rule Lewis out, because I never do, because I'm his #1 fan.
Fantastic. Right, we'll be back tomorrow then. Thanks for your company.
Always
Practice
have the
3
faith.
tomorrow at 10:50. Bye for now.